Hello students, now I am going to continue chapter 2. My next topic is types of chemical reactions. So there are 4 types of chemical reactions. First one is direct combination, or it is called synthesis reaction. Second one is decomposition reaction. Third one is displacement reaction, and fourth one is double decomposition reaction. So first one is direct combination or synthesis. A reaction in which two or more substances combine together to form a single substance is called a direct combination, combination or synthesis reaction. Okay? A reaction in which one or more substance, okay, in which one or more substances combine together to form a single substance, that is called direct combination reaction or combination reaction or synthesis reaction. Okay, listen again. A reaction in which two or more substances, here only two substances are there in the reactant side, here it can be more than two also. So a reaction in which two or more substances combine together, okay, they are combining with each other, okay, combine together to form a single substance, okay, two reactants and one product, okay, they form a single substance, is called a combination reaction or synthesis. Okay, now for this so many conditions are there. Okay, first one, when two elements combine to form a compound. I am writing in short, when two elements combine to form a compound. Okay, so example is when carbon and oxygen, okay, carbon and oxygen, okay, carbon will be in the solid form, oxygen will be in the gaseous form. See, two substance, here also two substance, okay, two elements are there, okay, carbon is also one element, oxygen is also one element. When two elements are combining together, they form a compound, okay, they form a compound, okay, by heating. Okay, this is the symbol of heat, I think all of you know. Okay, so this is the first condition, when two elements combine together, they form a compound plus heat. Okay, so this is the example of direct combination reaction. When two elements, here you can see two elements are combining together and they form a compound. Okay, carbon dioxide is a compound. So when two elements combine together, they form a compound. Carbon burns in oxygen to form a gaseous compound, carbon dioxide. Okay, now second condition, an element and a compound, one element and one compound, when these two are combining together, they form a new compound, okay, compound I have written in short, one element and one compound. Okay, for example, carbon monoxide plus oxygen, okay, carbon monoxide is a compound, oxygen is an element. So when one compound and one elements combining together, they form a new compound. See, when carbon monoxide, a compound, burns in the presence of oxygen, okay, burns in the presence of oxygen, okay, and oxygen is an element, so to form a single product, carbon dioxide, okay, carbon dioxide is a new product. Okay, so when one element and one compound is combining together, they form a new compound. This is the second condition. Now third one, two or more compounds combine to form a single product, okay, to form a single product, two or more compounds. In the first condition, two elements were combining together. In the second condition, one element, one compound were combining together. Now in the third condition, two or more compounds are combining together. Okay, for example, ammonia is combining with hydrogen chloride. One single product ammonium chloride is formed. A single product ammonium chloride is formed. Okay, so these were the conditions of direct combination reaction. Okay, two elements combining together, one element and one compound combining together, two or more compounds are combining together. In this you can see ammonia is also one compound, hydrogen chloride is also one compound. When these two compounds are combining together, they form a single product. Okay, now except these all, so many other examples are also given. You have to see all the examples. Okay, now so many experiments are also given for this. One experiment I am going to explain. One experiment is given. You have to take some black color lead sulfide, PBS. Okay, you have to take some black lead sulfide in a test tube and you have to heat it. Okay, in the presence of oxygen you have to heat it. So the black sulfide reacts with oxygen to form white lead sulfate. These all experiments you have to do in chemistry lab. Okay, so many other examples are also given that you have to study. In this you listen again. You have to take some black lead sulfide in a test tube and you have to heat it. The black lead sulfide reacts with oxygen. This oxygen is present in the atmosphere, so this lead sulfide will react with oxygen and it forms lead sulfate. Okay, PbSO4. Okay, now second one is decomposition reaction. Okay, your second one is decomposition reaction. So this was your first one, combination reaction. Double decomposition. So this was your fourth one. Now second one is decomposition reaction. Okay, decomposition reaction. So what do you mean by decomposition reaction? The chemical reaction in which a compound splits into two or more simpler substance, either elements or compound, is called decomposition reaction. Okay, suppose it is a compound. Okay, in decomposition reaction a compound splits. Okay, splits means breaks. So a compound splits into two or more simpler substance. It breaks into two or more simpler substance. Okay, that simpler substance can be element also or it can be compound also. Okay, so in decomposition reaction in which a compound splits into two or more simpler substances and these simpler substances can be element also or it can be compound also, is called decomposition reaction. Okay, in which a compound will split into simpler substances. Okay, that simpler substances can be element also or it can be compound also. So that type of reaction is called decomposition reaction. Okay, now decomposition may occur. Okay, for this decomposition, okay, three conditions are there. Okay, first one is your light. Okay, second one is your electricity and third one is your heat. Okay, so this decomposition, for decomposition reactions these three conditions are there. Okay, the decomposition which is done by light, okay, that type of reactions are called photochemical decomposition reaction. Okay, the decomposition which is done by light, okay, which can be done in the presence of light, that type of reactions are called photochemical decomposition reaction. Second one is electricity, the decomposition reaction which can be done in the presence of electric current. Okay, that type of reactions are called electrolytic decomposition reaction. And the third one is the heat. Okay, the decomposition reaction which can be done in the presence of heat. Okay, with the help of heat. So that type of reactions are called thermal decomposition reaction. Okay, I hope all of you understood. Okay, when one compound is breaking into two or more simpler substances, either element or compound, that type of reactions are called decomposition reaction. Okay, for decomposition reaction, three conditions are there. Okay, first one is light. Okay, when decomposition reactions are done in the presence of light, then this type of reaction is called photochemical decomposition reaction. When decomposition is done by passing electricity, okay, then that type of reactions are called electrolytic decomposition reaction. When decomposition is done by heating, okay, that type of reactions are called thermal decomposition reaction. Okay, so for all this I am giving you one example. Okay, for light, one example is given here. Silver chloride. Okay, it is a compound. In the presence of sunlight, it decomposes into silver and chlorine. Okay, now second one is electricity. I think all of you know the example of electricity. Water. If you pass electric current in acidulated water, okay, in my previous video I explained you. Okay, so when you pass electric current in water, it decomposes into hydrogen and oxygen gas. Okay, now third one is your heat. Okay, so for heat also, mercuric oxide decomposes by heating into mercury and oxygen gas. Okay, so these are the examples. So many other examples are also there in your book. You have to see it. Okay, now for this also decomposition also, a compounds, see this one, a compound breaks up into two or more elements. In this you can see a compound, this one is a compound, it is breaking into two or more elements. These two are elements. Okay, so this is the first condition. Now second condition, a compound can break to form both elements and compound. Okay, for this I am giving you one example. A compound, see this one is one compound, it can decomposes into one compound and one element, okay, by heating. Okay, so in the first condition you have seen a compound is decomposing into two or more elements. Okay, in the second condition, one compound is decomposing into one compound, this one is one compound and this one is one element. Okay, now third condition you see, a compound can break up to form two or more new compounds. A compound, suppose calcium carbonate, it decomposes by heating into two new product, two new compound, calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So this is the third condition, a compound can break up to form two or more new compounds. See, both are compounds. Okay, both are compounds. Okay, so these are the conditions for decomposition. Okay, now one more term is there, thermal decomposition. A decomposition reaction, see what is the meaning of thermal decomposition reaction. All of you listen very carefully, what is the meaning of thermal decomposition reaction. A decomposition reaction that is brought about by heat, okay, without any recombination on cooling is known as thermal decomposition reaction. For example, FeSO4, okay, ferrous sulfate, it decomposes into ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Okay, it decomposes into ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Okay, but by cooling it cannot be recombined. So that is why this type of reactions are called thermal decomposition reaction. A decomposition reaction that is brought about by heat without any recombination on cooling. On cooling it cannot be recombined. Okay, so this type of reaction is called thermal decomposition reaction. Okay, now in page number 25 you can see so many examples are given of metal hydroxide. In page number 26, metal carbonates, metal bicarbonates and metal nitrates. These all hydroxides and carbonates and bicarbonates and nitrate, all the reactions you have to learn, okay, which is given in your red boxes in page number 25 and 26. These all decomposition, thermal decomposition of some metal compounds, you have to learn it. Okay, now for this decomposition also one experiment is given. Okay, so many experiments are given. I am going to explain just one example for this, one experiment. When hydrated copper sulfate, okay, hydrated copper sulfate means in copper sulfate water is present. Okay, water is present in this copper sulfate, that is why it is called hydrated copper sulfate. Okay, when hydrated copper sulfate is heated in a test tube, when it is heated in a test tube, the blue colored crystal change into white anhydrous salt. It is blue in color. Okay, when you will heat it in a test tube, it will change into white color anhydrous copper sulfate. Anhydrous copper sulfate means water will remove from this copper sulfate. Okay, that is why it is called anhydrous. Anhydrous salt. Now the color will white. Okay, water will remove from this. Okay, so when hydrated copper sulfate is heated in a test tube, the blue color crystal will change into white anhydrous copper sulfate. The change may be represented by the following equation. Now, however, this anhydrous copper sulfate, okay, now again if in this anhydrous copper sulfate, if you mix some water in this, again if you mix some water in this, it will again change into hydrated copper sulfate. It will change again into hydrated copper sulfate. Okay, will be white. Now again it can change into blue color. Okay, so this type of reactions are called reversible reactions because we can get back the original substance again. Okay, listen again. When blue color hydrated copper sulfate is heated in a test tube, we will get white color anhydrous copper sulfate salt. Water will remove from this salt. Okay, when again in this anhydrous copper sulfate, if we will add some water in this, again this white color anhydrous copper sulfate will change into blue color hydrated copper sulfate. Okay, so this type of reaction is called reversible reaction. Okay, this is one example of reversible reaction. I think all of you know in reversible reaction we can get back the original substance again. Okay, so this is the example of reversible reaction. Now in this one more term is there, okay, that is called thermal dissociation. Thermal dissociation. So what is the meaning of thermal dissociation? A simultaneous reversible decomposition reaction brought about only by heat is called thermal dissociation reaction. Okay, so see one example. You have to take some ammonium chloride in a test tube. Okay, you have to take some ammonium chloride in a test tube and you have to heat it. Okay, heat some solid ammonium chloride in a test tube. Two colorless gases, ammonia and hydrogen chloride, are produced. You will get two colorless gases, ammonia and hydrogen chloride. Okay, these two colorless gases you will get. As these gases moves up at the upper part of the test tube, suppose it is a test tube. Okay, in this you have taken some solid ammonium chloride and you are heating it. Okay, you are heating it. When you heat it, the vapor will go upside and upper side of this test tube is cool. Okay, this side of the test tube is hot, but the upper side of the test tube is cool. Okay, so as these gases move up at the upper part of the test tube, which is already cooler, they combine to form ammonium chloride. Okay, they again combine and these two gases will combine together and they form again ammonium chloride. Okay, they again form ammonium chloride, which appear as a white sublimate on the cooler upper side of the test tube. So this type of reaction is called thermal dissociation reaction. A simultaneous reversible decomposition reaction brought about only by heating. Okay, this is the reversible reaction. Reversible reaction, we can write it by this arrow. Okay, by heating we are getting two gases, again by cooling we are getting this ammonium chloride again. Okay, so this type of reversible reactions are called thermal dissociation reaction. Okay, now for this also so many examples are given. Okay, and so many experiments are given. You have to study all the experiments and all the examples. Okay, now next one is your displacement reaction. Okay, third one is your displacement reaction. See, third one now, displacement reaction. Okay, so what do you mean by displacement reaction? It is a chemical change in which a more active element displaces a less active element from its salt solution. Okay, suppose you are having one compound, one element, okay, in which a more active element displaces a less active element from its salt solution. See, in this you can see one compound is there, one element is there. This C is more active. Okay, this C element is more reactive than B. Okay, that is why it displaces this B, and in the place of this B, C is coming. Okay, because it is less reactive, it is more reactive. So that is why a more active element displaces a less active element from its salt. Okay, from its salt solution. So this type of reaction is called displacement reaction. You can understand with the help of this example. Copper sulfate plus zinc sulfate. In class 8, I think you have learned the reactivity series of metal. In that you have seen, I think, the more reactive metals were written in the upper side and the less reactive metals were written in the bottom side. So now in this reaction you see take a solution of copper sulfate in a beaker and you have to add few pieces of zinc and you have to mix it well with the rod. The blue color of the solution gradually fades and soon the solution becomes colorless. Okay. At the same time, the reddish brown particles of the copper settle down in the beaker. Now you see, in this you can see this zinc is more active and this copper is less active. Okay, that is why this zinc, okay, since this zinc is more active, that is why it displaces this copper. Okay, and that is why it is called displacement reaction. Okay, this copper is displaced by zinc. Okay, because zinc is more active element. Okay, in the place of copper now zinc is there. Okay, because this zinc is more active than copper. Okay, so this one is one example of displacement reaction. Okay, one more example you see, Mg plus H2SO4 is equal to MgSO4 plus H2. In this you can see magnesium is more active than hydrogen. Magnesium is more active, hydrogen is less active. So that is why this hydrogen is displaced by magnesium. Okay, in the place of hydrogen now magnesium is there. Okay, because magnesium is more active than hydrogen. Okay, so that is why it is called displacement reaction. Okay, one more example you see, potassium iodide and chlorine. In this you can see, in non-metal chlorine is more active than iodine. Okay, chlorine is more active and iodine is less active. Okay, that is why this iodine is displaced by chlorine. In the place of iodine now chlorine is there. Okay, because chlorine is more active than iodine. Okay, so these are the examples of displacement reaction. In your book also activity series is there, activity series of elements. Okay, you have to see and you have to see the other example also. Okay, now in my next video I will explain this fourth one. Okay, double decomposition reaction and the exercise of 2B. Thank you so much.